Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the new products, and then I want to make sure that I leave plenty of time for some questions that you guys might have, and then we'll see if we have enough time for the people who went to convention to share a little bit of their experience. What I'm hoping to do is to set up a separate Zoom to kind of go over a lot of the training and the things that were presented at convention. So those people who went will be able to share more of that with us. So I just felt like that was more than we could do in one call or in one Zoom. So I think we're going to set that up as a separate training, a separate event. So, all righty.
Hey, Ashley.
Karen, yes. I can't see you, but I hear you. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So we're working on getting a date together where we can all get together and do a Zoom for like a convention recap. So don't worry about that tonight.
No, okay, no, I won't. But let me know when that's going to be. And might I just say, Melinda, your hair looks amazing, by the way. I just thought I would throw that out there. Okay. All right. If you have never used Zoom before, then you'll need to know that at the top of your screen, you have some different options. There should be something that says switch to gallery view or switch to active speaker view. If you put it on gallery view, you will be able to see little thumbnail pictures of everyone who's on the call. You might have to swipe a few times if you're using your phone to see everybody. If you're on speaker view, then whoever is speaking will be large and take up your whole screen. Sorry about that. You have an option if you want speaker view or gallery view. And then at the top of your screen, if you turn off your camera, then it will either put up a stock photo that you've already included or just nothing. But then we don't get to see your lovely faces.
Maggie, no.
Want to mute or unmute yourself, you can hit the little mute or unmute button. So, all right. So, how do we get new products in Plexus? The time an idea is conceptualized to the time that we're told, hey, there's a new product, this is what it is. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes for a product to become an actual product that we are sharing and using. So the first thing that happens is our marketing team takes a look at what does the industry need and what do people want, and they do research on what would be, in their opinions, a good product. Not the nitty-gritty of how is it made, but what would a good idea for a product be? And then what they do is they do extensive market research. They put together a plan. Sometimes it can be as much as 20 pages long. And they create a proposal for a new product. They might make suggestions or recommendations for what kinds of ingredients they think, would be good to be included. But it's not really the science aspect of it. And then they take that proposal to the advisory board, which consists of some of our Diamond ambassadors, and to the team that consists of Alec Clark, Tarl Robinson, our president and CEO, and Cindy Latham, who is also one of our executives. If they approve this idea, it then goes to the R&D scientists, which is research and development, for extensive research. Then those scientists, Plexus actually has several research and development scientists hired currently, ones who have helped with reformulating the Slim and these two new products that we have, the Xfactor Plus and the Vital Biome. But they are also in the process of hiring at least 2 to 3 more over the next couple of months. So that's really something they're taking very seriously. And so then once they have done extensive research tested out the product, have come up with a final, what they feel is a final product. It then gets finance approval. That's how they set the price for the product and determine what they're going to charge for the product. Then it eventually goes to manufacture. So it's a really, really big process. And you might not have realized how much went into that. But there's very specific steps and stages that the new products go through, which I thought was kind of interesting. So just to let you know, our products are manufactured here in the United States. The research and development scientist whose interview I saw would not say or confirm at this point that every single ingredient is produced in the United States, meaning it may not be grown here. For example, their hope is that that eventually will be the case, but their concern at this point is making sure that the product is standardized, and they want to make sure that every batch is identical. And so in order for that to happen, you know, there's a lot of things that have to go on. So their main goal is that the product ingredients are thoroughly and rigorously tested at every single level. There have been entire batches of ingredients that have been refused by Plexus because they did not meet the standard of the company. All of our facilities are FDA compliant, even though the FDA does not approve nor disapprove of any supplements. But our facilities do comply with the FDA standards, and all of our ingredients are, like I said, safety and quality checked for the highest standards. And that's very important to our company, very important to Plexus that be the case. So let's talk just for a minute. I probably will not be talking a lot tonight about the new Slim, just because I feel like we have had that a little bit longer. I feel like we probably have covered that to some degree. I don't want to not talk about it, but I don't want to spend a ton of time on it either. The main changes from the old Slim to the new Slim were some of the polydextrose, which was a fiber that was added to the powder. That fiber did act as a prebiotic, meaning it fed the good bacteria in the gut. It was not a natural fiber. It was a man-made fiber. That is the reason that we could not claim that it is all natural. When they reformulated to the new Slim, they did remove that polydextrose and in its place put this new prebiotic. I'm not even going to attempt to spell it out for you, but if you need it, I can find it and put it in the team group. But it is abbreviated XOS, and it is a big, long scientific name, oleosaccharide, something, something, and it's XOS. And that is a prebiotic that helps feed the good bacteria in the gut. There are hundreds of studies that have been clinically studied, peer-reviewed, that show that this particular prebiotic helps grow or multiply the good bacteria in the gut. Specific bacteria, including a special a special microbe or bacteria called Akkermansia. And that specific microbe is shown to help with lean body mass and weight loss, among a whole host of other things. And so the new Slim, most of you have probably tried it. If you haven't gotten it yet, you'll probably be getting it soon. It has a new flavor. It mixes super easily in water. My 6-year-old said today she said, I just love this new Slim. I barely even have to shake it. And so it really does. I mean, it's very, very easy to mix compared to the old product. A little note that I will add, if you have a customer who is allergic to watermelon, raspberry, lemon, if you would happen to have someone who says that they're allergic to those particular ingredients, just know that while we have isolated those flavors, there is a very good possibility that that person would have no reaction to the product because the proteins from those foods are not included in the slim. Now, I don't know if that makes sense to you, but basically they have isolated the flavors of those fruits, but not the proteins that people would generally react to if they had a food allergy. So, people can just use their own judgment and check with their doctor if they feel that's an issue. But it should be noted that serrapeptase, which is an enzyme that's found in ProBio 5, actually has been known to help break down those proteins. So if someone was using the triplex, it's a good possibility that those food allergies would dissipate from using the ProBio 5. So, okay. I don't know if anybody has any questions about the new Slim, but if so, like I said, I'll make sure to save some time so that we can talk about those questions. Okay, sorry, I was trying to find the time on my iPad here. Okay, so let's talk about the Vital Biome. This seems to be the product that I'm getting so many questions about. This is an amazing product, so let's jump right into it. Okay, the biggest question I keep getting when it comes to the new Vital Biome is, why do I need this if I have ProBio 5? Or if I've taken the Vital Biome, why do I need ProBio 5 anymore? And so one of the questions, this particular question was asked to Stephen, who is one of the scientists with the research and development. And he said that most ambassadors were not promoting or selling the ProBio 5 as a probiotic. Most of them were promoting it as an enzyme product for reducing the intestinal yeast in the body. And it really does make sense when you think about it. Most of us, when we were selling the ProBio 5 and sharing that with people, we were selling it and sharing it because it does have enzymes to help with candida yeast. Now, that's not compliant, that we can't really say candida, but we can, and I was told this, like one of the Plexus people said, we can say that the ProBio 5 does in fact help with intestinal yeast overgrowth. That's okay to say. We can say intestinal yeast overgrowth. So people were selling it and sharing it as a product with good digestive enzymes and good enzymes to help reduce that yeast in the body. But there were only 2 billion probiotic bacteria in the ProBio 5. So, and there were 5 strains, and it is an amazing product, no doubt. But we really and truly would benefit so much more from additional probiotic bacteria. And that's what this Vital Biome provides for us. It isn't, though, a replacement, one-for-one replacement of the ProBio 5, because this new Vital Biome does not have those digestive enzymes in it. It does not have those enzymes for destroying yeast. So you can go out, not do anything to your garden or your flower beds, nothing. And you can plant a bunch of seeds. Will they grow? Sure, they will. But you're also going to have a lot of weeds in there too. And going through and weeding that garden, tilling up the soil, getting it ready is going to produce a lot healthier and more bountiful plants than if you just put the seeds in without taking the weeds out. My nutritionist that I talked to a few years ago when I was dealing with my food allergies, I had a problem with candida yeast overgrowth, and she said to me, you can use all of the probiotics you want, but unless and until you deal with that yeast overgrowth, you can add good probiotics, but until you lower that intestinal yeast, those good probiotics are not going to be able to fight off the yeast, no matter how much you use. So you might have people coming to you that they don't really have a lot of symptoms of yeast overgrowth. It's possible that somebody doesn't want to use the ProBio 5, and that's okay. Like I said, if you happen to have a pristine flower bed that has very few weeds in it and you want to start planting, your seeds in there, okay. But keep in mind, and I would let people know that if you have a chronic illness, if you have any kind of symptoms that are associated with a yeast overgrowth of any type, you're probably going to need to take that Probio 5. You're going to need to use it at least for a period of time, whether that's 2 months, 60 days, 90 days, 30 days. You're going to need to use that product in order to get that yeast under control, in my opinion. So, let's see here. The new Vital Biome contains 8 strains of bacteria, and compared to the Probio 5, and some of those are the same, but a lot of them are different. The 2 strains listed first on the label, the Lactobacillus helveticus, I believe it's pronounced, and the Bifido longum. Those first 2 that are listed on the label are the ones that were clinically studied, that they specifically have clinical studies out there, peer-reviewed studies, that those two strains in particular help with stress and anxiety. Praise God, we can now say that we have products that help with anxiety. We couldn't say that before, not really. We could not say that compliantly before, even though we have always had products, because anxiety is a big, big thing, big relation to gut health. So the Probio 5 in and of itself would help tremendously, but we can now say anxiety. We can say that we have a product that will help with stress, that will help with anxiety, and we can say that it will help with mood and feelings of sadness. I would be very careful not to, because that is one that I have not heard, and I don't believe that is compliant to say, but we can claim that it can help with feelings of sadness, feelings of anger, and that it can help with anxiety, stress, mood, and all of those other type things. Now, we have included in this product the specific amount of CFU, which is colony forming units. Basically, that's the number of bacteria. We have included in the Vital Biome the specific number that were included in these clinical studies. So let's say they had 2 billion of these. This is just a number I pulled out of the air. Let's say 2 billion CFUs were how many were studied in order to get these results in 30 days. That is how many are included in the Vital Biome. So the exact amounts in the clinical studies were the amounts that Plexus used in this final product. You can go to the label of the Vital Biome and you can look at not just the strain of bacteria, but the actual number. Like, they have isolated it down to the very number. You could go and find those peer-reviewed studies based on the information on that label, and you could pull those up if you wanted to, and you could look for those exact studies that show that this product does help indeed with anxiety, stress, and mood, etc. What I think is really cool about the Vital Biome is that the bottle itself has a desiccant lined bottle. You know those little packets that are in the products to help with moisture? The Vital Biome bottle is lined on the inside in a layer with that specific, you can't see it, it's in between the layers of plastic, but it is designed to help keep moisture away from the product, to help the potency, and to help make sure that the product, from the time of manufacture to the time it's delivered to your door, that it does not lose potency. Once the bottle has been opened and you're taking out every day, it is going to get moisture inside, and it is recommended that you use that product within 30 days. It is a 30-day supply, so that shouldn't be a problem. It is also recommended that this Vital Biome, that it be stored at 70 degrees or below. If you live in a very hot climate, if your house doesn't have air conditioning, if you're traveling, you know, if you are going to have that product out in high temperatures, it is going to lose potency faster. So the marketing guy that did the video I watched said that he actually keeps his in the refrigerator, and that at Plexus, when the ingredients come in, that they store them in the freezer. You can keep probiotics cold or frozen. They do not lose potency. It's the heat that does destroy them. So you would not want to leave it in your car, in the direct sun, anything like that. Alrighty. I have been told from a Sapphire ambassador when I asked about if, now the Vital Biome does say on the bottle that it is not intended for children under the age of 18. You guys are all frozen. Can anybody hear me?
Yes, we still hear you, Ashley.
Okay, everybody on my screen was frozen, so I was like, I thought maybe I lost everybody. So, okay. Someone had asked if it was okay for children to use the Vital Biome, and the packaging does say that it's not intended for children under 18. That is going to start to be included on every package of every product Plexus makes, because this isn't a product that we're marketing for children. My children use quite a few of these products. The Vital Biome, there is no specific reason that a child cannot use that product. However, I'm not sure what you would want to do about the dosing, but because the product says that 1 capsule is an adult dose, a child may not need a full capsule. And I'm not going to tell you how much to give your child, but that's just something to keep in mind, that the adult dose is 1 capsule. So can the capsule be opened for both the Xfactor and the Vital Biome? Yes, it can be. With the Xfactor Plus, it may not taste very good, but it can be opened. With the Vital Biome, you are going to lose some of that protective capsule that's going to help the product make it through the stomach acid. So keep that in mind. You can open it, but you are going to lose some of that protection that the capsule provides from the acid in the stomach that keeps that bacteria getting to the intestines where it belongs. You do want to take the Vital Biome first thing in the morning or on an empty stomach. So that is something you might have to tweak in your routine. If you're taking that product, you can take it with Slim, but it is recommended that you do take the Vital Biome first thing in the morning and away from your BioCleanse. So if you were taking Slim and BioCleanse, you're going to need to move your BioCleanse to a different time if you're taking the Vital Biome first thing in the morning. Okay, so the marketing department did thorough research on the competition to see what is out there in the way of probiotics. And what they found is that the product that we have is unlike anything that's currently available, and it is $10 to $20 cheaper than comparable products. So that's really good to hear. It's good that we have a product that is not only really high quality, but also less expensive than other similar products that are on the market currently. When it comes to the dairy and the soy that are listed on the label, those are not added ingredients. There is no dairy or soy added. However, in the fermentation process, bacteria has to undergo fermentation in order for it to be healthy living bacteria, just like yogurt would have to ferment. That dairy and soy, those proteins may be present, or they have been tested. I'm trying to think how to word this. There's a possibility that there may be trace amounts of dairy or soy in the product. Although testing has currently shown that there isn't, it's always a possibility. So if someone is, let's say, anaphylactic to dairy, that is a product they would, probably not want to use. They would want to check with their doctor. If you just are lactose intolerant and you don't eat dairy as a general rule, you would probably be fine, because this is like saying that this is produced in a facility that, if you have a peanut allergy and you have a product that was produced in the same facility, that's the similar, it's part of the process of how the bacteria is fermented. It's not actually added to the product. So I'm not sure if that makes sense or not. All right, well, let's see here. This is a ton of info. So it's going to be recorded. You can always go back and watch it, but I got to keep flying because I want you guys to have a chance to ask a couple questions. So the Xfactor Plus, basically old product, all of the same awesome stuff. The aloe, the New Zealand black currant, all the other awesomeness that was in the Xfactor Plus stayed the same. We did add an additional 9 nutrients, including K1 and K2. Why are those important? Research shows that vitamin D is absorbed so much more when combined with vitamin K. So vitamin D3 and vitamin K are very closely connected in that the body receives them best when they're combined. So I love that we added vitamin K1 and K2 to this formula. We've also added a lot of minerals, trace minerals like selenium, zinc, copper, that were not in our previous formula. So that is a fabulous addition. We still have a folate that is a 5-MTHF version, which means that for people who have an inability to process folic acid or a gene mutation that cannot process folic acid, this is a multivitamin that they can take, and that is rare in a multivitamin. This is an amazing product, Not only that, it also has some special ingredients, some of the in the proprietary blend, some of those particular minerals that help improve gut bacteria. So now you have this amazing multivitamin that also helps increase good bacteria in the gut. So that's incredible to me. The new capsules are green. They are bright green, and that green is from chlorophyll, which is found in plants. It's a capsule versus a tablet because a capsule is more absorbed, readily absorbed by the body. There is no iron added to the Xfactor. However, New Zealand black currant is very naturally high in iron. So you do get a lot of good iron benefits from this product, but there is not an added synthetic iron added to the Xfactor Plus. A lot of people are writing down or are posting on Facebook that this can help with hot flashes and menopause symptoms. There are studies on selenium and grapeseed extract that show that those ingredients have been studied and show that they are beneficial for helping with mood, sleep, hot flashes, etc. So that's fabulous that we have and that we can say that, and that we have that as part of this new Xfactor blend. You do want to take the Xfactor with food. The website says that it doesn't necessarily have to be first thing in the morning. You could take it with lunch or dinner, but it should be taken with food to prevent any upset stomach. And that is because of the trace minerals that were added. So, all right. Questions? Is your brain hurting yet? All righty. Unmute yourself if you have something that you want to ask about one of the new products. We've got about, maybe about 5 minutes or so. Everyone is still frozen on my screen. Okay, Jackie asked the question, is Slim all natural now? I don't see anything that has been added to it that's not natural now, but I would have to check and see if it's compliant to say that it's all natural. Although I'm not seeing anything that's not natural, whereas before it had the polydextrose, which was not a natural ingredient. So I don't see any reason why it's not, but I don't know that we can say that it is all natural, but I can check on that for you. That does remind me, though, that it does say now on the package that it is non-GMO, and it always has been, but that's now actually on the package. So that's pretty exciting too.
I've got a question, but it's not about a new product.
Yeah.
It's about a regimen.
Yeah.
If we're supposed to take the Vital Biome in the morning, like first thing on an empty stomach, are we still okay to take BioCleanse in between breakfast and lunch?
Yes, you can take BioCleanse between meals. You can take it at bedtime. You can take it as the bottle suggests. I just probably wouldn't take it right with the Vital Biome.
Gotcha. Okay.
Other questions?
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same thing with Jeff. I eat